That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications and everything will be okay. Now, today's reaction and song probably needs no introduction because you've been asking me to do it for so long and so often that it's ingrained in all of our minds. But it is Ayreon and the song is called The Day the World Breaks Down. You guys have been aggressively asking me to do this one. And the lovely Marika on our Discord server, one of the OGs, said, I know people have been asking you to take a look at it. I'd like you to take a look at it. I think you'll enjoy it. I said, not a problem. I will do that. So if she comments, I'll pin it and you guys can give her a shout out if you were one of the people who wanted to see this one. I know there's a lot of features on this. You've let me know that. And she also let me know that this is kind of a story. And the best way to think of this song is an introduction of the characters to that story, which I think is lovely. So that's really cool. I'll look out for that. I'm sure there's a lot of people I will know, people I won't know. My memory is always shot anyway, but I'm just looking forward to enjoying the music, really, to be honest, and keen to get stuck into this one. Without further ado, Ayreon, The Day the World Breaks Down. Let's see what you got. "11 singers.
Silence so deafening as the stillness surrounds us. A rush of fear is surging through our veins.
Okay. Gonna stop right there. I'll go back to tracking. Interesting start. I love when music sets a theme by introducing environmental sounds and noises. That wind, almost that ocean sound that's coming in. I think it's very cool. It evokes a certain kind of emotion and it prepares you for something. And then you had that almost massive contrast coming in with the synth and that almost like an organ sound that was modulated. There's a lot of ways to produce sounds like that, especially when it starts to move up and down. Some of it's just through modulation of different frequencies. We used to do that as a project, so you'd have to create frequencies and then wobble them, which is a fun thing. And you can kind of twist depending on when you want to do that. That could just be a mod wheel on an organ setting. There's a lot of ways to do that, but it is very, very cool. And it's a massive contrast to that nature sound. Awesome to see that he's doing these little snippets of information to help me because I'm learning while I'm listening and watching. That's cool. James, I did not know James. I saw it said Dream Theater, but I didn't know that he's the singer. I'm not very familiar with Dream Theater. Nice, deep and rich voice, even though he's quite reserved and almost speak singing at the moment. It's really cool start to the song.
Is surging through our veins. A shadow so menacing darkens our...
Just hear that. There's an introduction there of a percussive element, so it's those really quick, like little percussion roll there, and it's important because it almost, as I mentioned the environmental noises earlier, it almost sounds like thunder. I don't know if that's the intention, but there is this kind of spacey element versus the natural elements, and it's just, for me, it's a lot of care put into the background of something that I think a lot of people would skip over, and I really appreciate it.
A shadow so menacing darkens our horizon. What have we done? Is this the end? When death descends.
There you go. hang on, before we go anywhere. I love that it's gone from these modulated sounds into something quite organic and pure. And flute is awesome. You know, I've said it before, this is actually an interesting pairing to have the flute and the cello. I've messed around with cello a little bit. It's not very good, but I love it. These instruments work really well together for one main reason, and that's because when you have a wind instrument, there is a much slower attack on the note before it hits its peak. There's a slow decay, and you can mimic that with a bow pull, depending on the energy and effort that you put down, the pressure as well. So when you can hear that human characteristic with a wind instrument, that breathiness, kind of leading the forefront of a note being pulled in, and then you have that slow wind up, that almost whine of the bow before you can hear the resonance of the body of the cello. I think it fits really well. It's gorgeous, and I'm fully on board. This is fantastic. Clearly very high-end musicians. I can't place a lot of the musicians. I see the names and I'm trying to think, do I know them from somewhere? I'm not great with names and with lyrics, but I will get better. Awesome. I just saw a line there that said, you know, as a drummer, he knows what the song needs, and very, very apt, because what he's doing there is making those drums work as hard as humanly possible to not sound like a loopable beat. There's accents and everything. You could hear them very clearly from the beginning, trying to accent certain notes and pull them out. But it does actually form a phrasing and a loop because he's going around the toms. It's just cool, man. It's just really cool intro. So there's that modulation. Frequencies taking the high end out. I love this. Hang on, did he say top string drop D? Okay, that's really cool. I'll leave it there to go forward. Awesome to see all this info come up. It's like I'm watching Tank Facts. It's fantastic. Tank would have loved this. And I'm sure he probably did. This is nice. I like riffs like this where there is an intention, an aggressiveness, a heaviness from the guitar, but it's balanced out with some of the key work that's happening. The bass is really nice, being a melodic connector for the instrumentation that is, you know, guitar and keys, and then also a percussive element to it with the pouncing for the drums. Now, I'm getting excited. I like guitar work like this because it's quite simple, and it has what you call like a top and a tail. And the top is a repetitive, normally it's like 3 cycles, and on the 4th, it goes into a loop of that last tail, which happened there, and that kind of goes into the next bar. It's probably the best way to explain it, but it's nice because there's a nice repetition to it, and then it moves into something else. It's picking up energy. Listen, I know him. He's from Camelot. I know that voice. That's awesome. This is cool. I want to go back in again. I like how it's got like titles for them. So this is the opposition leader. So it's obviously all part of the story, which I don't know yet, and I'm keen to. But he's got a fantastic voice, very distinguishable as well. You just know it, and I've done enough of their songs to know. Doesn't skip Arm Day, not even for a second. I know her too. That's Simone, of course it is. The lovely Epica. Now, don't know the other guy. Name is familiar though. Can't place it. I like what they're doing here. Each singer's having a brief moment to shine, and it keeps ringing in my head what Marika said about, think of this as an introduction to the characters. And that's something it's a really important thing for me to know early on, because I'm starting to understand that these are introductions, if you will, and they're short little pacey pieces. So knowing how many singers are going to be featured in this, it's really awesome that they're all having a moment. I'm sure they'll kind of loop back and they'll all bring out different elements of the song, but it's nice that they're not spending too long on each. It's exciting, it's fresh. It's almost 4 minutes in, but it feels like nothing because of this, because of lots of these changes, evolutions. Very cool. This guy, that dude can sing, man. I could see him typing there that, titling that he cried tears of joy. Listen, so would I, man. That guy is a special vocalist. Let's go back to lead into that. But what a special vocalist. Unique voice. I like what they're doing here with when they get to the phrasing of the vocals, and it gets to the day that the world breaks down, because it's that piece I was talking about earlier where there's a repetitive cycle and then there's a tail that loops, except this time it's more of an accent. You can actually hear each phrasing and word. And a band, I mean, mentioned earlier about the Beatles used to do that. They used to change chords on almost every single word, and that is somewhat reminiscent of that, maybe because I read it there. But I like Okay, so if you're new to the channel, we pause a lot. It's about education, exploring new music, and learning together. Get your popcorn, get ready, get comfortable. Now, Simone is awesome. What she's doing here is very different to my somewhat limited experience of her in Epica, where it's much more dramatic, thematic. It's much more, I don't want to say operatic, because that's not... One, because I'm trying to avoid all this alliteration, and two, because it almost boxes you in. She's so versatile and so dynamic. Here it's more reserved and pulled back, but there is a vocal layering. I want to go back to hear it. There's definitely a layering, and there's a much higher piece and low piece, and it's matched up and packed together really tightly. At least that's what it sounds like. Now that isn't just a copy paste, because you'd have phasing issues, but it is nicely edited. The mixing on this must have been a nightmare. Whoa, easy guys, easy. Don't know this dude, but his voice is sick. It's cool. Powerful, a lot of character. The visual helps as well. Nice. I'm learning, man. Okay, so this is so awesome. It's because I see this stuff, and it's stuff I used to when I was working in studios, and then they had these big kind of in South Africa, in one of the broadcasters, there's a studio called M1, and they've got a lot of these really big organs, Hammonds, and all these things. Talking about Leslie mics, the rotating speakers, all that kind of stuff. It's awesome for me because I don't have to talk about it. It's there now. You see it. But exciting and nostalgic for me. Very cool. It's these iconic instruments that are going to last forever. I like this piece a lot. He talks about the balance between the guitar work and the Hammond, and it's this heavy like guitar piece. After they went through the nice lead work, which is all matched up and synced up really well, goes into the heavier parts, and just when you feel like it's more aggressive, you hear the twang of that coming in of the keys, and it is such a contrast, but it just works. And part of the reason it works is because the drums are providing an energy and an intensity behind it that is just kind of allowing it to be pushed forward, almost elevating it a little bit, making your heart rate increase. And it's making me very happy because this is thoughtful music by a very thoughtful man. Yeah, those gallops.
This would happen. Not many believed in my cause. I'm sure they will all turn to me now. I'm sure I am the only one who can save us from this fate.
I'm so out of my elements. I don't know who half these people are, and that's fine. I just like the sound of them. Very it's nice with this guy over here is that I've forgotten his name already. It's really nice that he's able to provide that really detailed like vibrato and almost storytelling elements on something that's quite soft spoken. There's not a lot of belting in that. It's quite withdrawn, but there's still like a really nice melodic lead on it. It's just great, man. It's just cool. I like all of this. It makes me happy. What did he say? I'll take this as an opportunity to see that again because I think he mentioned the band there. But speaking about the gallops, these gallops are great because there are two cycles to them. One is predictable and one feels like it's off the beat. It feels like it's I think it's just ahead of the beats, either just ahead or just after, but it gives you basically a longer, prolonged cycle towards the end of the phrasing, and it's nice. It very quickly becomes something that you latch onto and you can just feel. You don't have to think about it anymore, but the first time you hear it, it's definitely something that's a little different to what you expect. It doesn't sit on that 4/4 directly. It does in terms of the time signature, but not in terms of the phrasing. It's a little unexpected. It's cool.
I always knew they would need me. Not many show faith in my plans. I'm sure
Aventasia. Don't know them.
I'm sure that I'm the only one who can save us.
Get in. Wow. All the drum samples are real. No, all the drum sounds are real. No reverbs. That's just recorded in a big room. We speak about, on this channel, we speak about spatial effects, things like reverb and echo, delay, panning, and volume. And a lot of times, things like drums, mostly vocals, and definitely on guitar, you have effects added to make it sound like it's in a bigger room, to make it sound further away, to make it sound like there was atmosphere around it. And this is obviously just a big room, like you said, which is awesome because the drum sound is killing. hang on, we're going into solo, and we don't like interrupting solos. Ibs. But I know that guy. That is Blind Guardian. I think his name's Hansi. I've done Blind Guardian before on the channel. Awesome voice. Killer voice. Again, very recognizable, very distinct, and just almost in a way effortless. Just cool. There's a lot of personality to it. And you can hear the song is also building. We're at the 6-minute mark. It's definitely building. It's definitely pushing up and evolving. And there's still quite a bit of the song left. About half of it. So I'm expecting that it's not going to continue to just build. I think it will dip at some stage. But I believe we have a solo being delivered, hand-wrapped, packaged. And I cannot wait to open that present. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. If you want an education on harmonies, and you often see that with wow. You often see that with like a cappella stuff, or vocal groups where they are, you know, trying to almost replicate instrumentation with their voice. Jeez, that was good. I didn't know him, but I think I saw Toe Hider. And I don't know them either, but I know Tank knows them. He speaks about them a lot on the server. I didn't know him, but I'm kind of mad I don't, because I absolutely need to know him. And that's the cool thing about songs like this with features, is that it encourages me to delve a bit deeper into more artists, and encourages me and motivates me to do that. Now, that's fantastic. What he was doing there is incredible, having all those different layers, those harmonies to it. The way that he position, the editing of the video also helps, because there's a visualization of some of the, I don't say just panning, but the direction of where things were coming from. And there was some nice like almost phase effects on it, as on the vocals. It's very interesting how he pieced that together, and I'm going to have to listen to that again, because magical for him to give binary as the lyrics and he just does that. Ooh, what goes on inside that man's head? Good things. It's almost a distortion when you bounce the bow like that. Listen, get out of here, man. I am an ultra blues fan. Not a big jazz guy. I'm a blues guy. I always joke and say that a jazz band is a blues band that fell down the stairs. And all the jazz people out there are going to hate me for it. It's just a joke. Calm down. We're allowed a sense of humor. I love that groovy stuff. I think it's awesome. Fantastic. Quite often, you hear that groove on the guitar and you think that that's the primary, and it is. But the bass is actually leading the groove on that. Very cool, very interesting. And I like it all. Whoops. I said pause by accident. Let's try that again. Go back one.
I must have been blind. I mean, it should have been obvious. Straight out of my mind to rely on the cold machine. The sounds were strong. I know I was wrong. I know they will hate me now. Ooh, but I will come clean and destroy this cold machine.
Man, listen. I'm going to say I love everything. Love that vocal. Love that vocal. Not familiar with Symphony X, but I did know he is a singer for them. I need to get into that stuff, man. Oh, that voice. There's so much character and rasp to it. It reminds me of like old rock and roll, like proper classic rock and roll. At least the bit that he's doing there. And yes, you should be very proud of that fast guitar run. I would be. This is all great. Hang on, man. Listen, you're ticking all the boxes, yeah? Mr. Lucassen, you're ticking all the boxes. I have a Fender Stratocaster US and I play off a Marshall. Those are my things. I have some pedals, but I love what he just said there. Sometimes you just want to keep it simple. To get the, when you've got such a great guitar that's kind of engineered and so iconic and it has such a signature sound, and you have such a well-produced tone from the amp. We don't know which Marshall he's using. I was using a JCM 2000 TSR 100, but it's quality. That's all you need. Don't overcomplicate things. How cool is this, man? It's one of those. He's one of these guys that like you kind of just aspire and wish to get even 10% closer to his thinking because of how greatly put together this is, how well thought out it is. It's a masterpiece. Yep. Dude, you can play, man. He's obviously joking and being quite hard on himself there about I couldn't replicate this without loads of practice, and I hate practicing. Everyone hates practicing. I'm pretty sure you could wake up and do that in your sleep, man. That's great. All solos are built off of the back of scales. There are loads and loads and loads of scales. When you're practicing, you learn them. And you keep going up and down, and you put a metronome and a click track to that, and you get faster and faster and faster. And eventually, you just know where everything needs to be. And you can shift between them with blues scales, jazz scales, Middle Eastern. I like what he was doing there, was hitting almost like a 2-chord little shuffle as he was going down, using the whammy bar to bend, and then overemphasizing the end there. Just really quick work, really talented. It wasn't overdone in any way. It was just perfect for what was required. This song is intense. Very. I like intense. So we're going back to the beginning. No idea who that is. No clue. Floor Man. Come on. She's a beast. She's just a beast. And everyone on you is a beast. All the musicians, all the singers. Standout stuff. It's like a supergroup. It is a supergroup. It's like your Hall of Fame team. And somehow she still is able to stand out. And again, this is not a comparison of her to the other singers. Every one of these singers are remarkable, ultra talented, creative, special. And some of the bands I've seen and some of the bands I haven't. When I say seen, I mean explored on this channel. And I'm looking forward to diving into the ones I haven't done yet. But it's just special. And to have her kind of belting here at the end. In fact, I'm going to go again to hear it again because I just want to. She is floor doing floor things. Yep. I'm going to let this play because I need to gather my thoughts a little. What a song. Shout out, I don't want to try and say that name, Jan Sotre. Give it a go. That was special. That was really, really, really special. Mr. Lucassen, you are a genius, a 1 in a million mind. And you absolutely killed that in the best possible way. Now, it's one thing getting a bunch of ultra talented musos and singers together. And a lot of people with connections can do that. However, to piece that together, to be the creative mind, the creative director of this song, and to have it play out like it just did is remarkable. I thought that was a great, great song. I get worried when there's a lot of features. I really do, because I've seen it before where people put a lot of artists together for the sake of, and it doesn't work. That worked in the best possible way. And thank you so much for doing that, sir. I appreciate you very much. And shout out all of you guys for asking for it. Shout out Marika. And man, we got to do more Ayreon. We have to now. It's going to be awesome. Let me know where to go next. I'd be keen to know, is it like features on all the songs? I assume it's not going to be all the singers and all the songs if it is, but if it's a story, I'm imagining these characters. You could see the biologist and the president, all these things. I'm imagining they're going to play a role in some of these, so it'll be nice to know if that's kind of their thinking. But keen to look into more. Guys, let me know where to go next. Can't wait for it. Until then, please be safe, be nice to each other, and have a damn good day.